So one more video I forgot before we move on to the last one about information. How do we solve this new problem we have of providing the correct incentives to, decision makers who are running economic interventions? Okay. Well, we've seen that there are a variety of problems they can face. It could be that groups can lobby them, provide them benefits or corruption. And so one way that we can improve on that is to basically create laws against that, a new intervention. Another way is if we can make it easier for groups to coordinate or harder to hide exactly what money you're taking. That could be a thing if we have a democratic system where people are going to vote for you, you in and out. And so that gets to having things like a free press to educate or to sort of tell people when this kind of thing is going on and keep an eye on our politicians and make sure that they are, in fact, operating as closely as we can get them to operate to maximizing social welfare rather than their private welfare. Other stuff we can do is we could have an educated populace that's able to understand what kind of policies the decision makers should be implementing and then punish them at the voting booth when they do not implement those kind of policies. So you can see that pretty quickly running your economy efficiently starts to spill out into these kind of non-economic areas, right? How you run your political system, basically, okay? And as an economist, I don't have super great insight into how that all, like the best way to do it, right? But I also can't avoid that it is an important problem that must be solved, the incentives that the decision makers face. Now, let's assume, for the sake of argument, that we've got that problem solved in a second best way. Okay, we've got a dedicated press which monitors our decision makers closely and alerts the public anytime they deviate from serving the public interest. We've got an educated class of decision makers and an educated voters booth so that everybody is able to communicate and know what kind of things they should be doing. And we've got kind of monitoring and stuff in place so that people can't easily act in a blatantly corrupt fashion. All right, so let's suppose we've got the incentive problem solved. That's only half the equation. For people to intervene well, they need to have the right kind of information. They need to know, in a simple case, like you want to set a pigou tax, then you need to know what is the damage caused by the externality. If you want to deal with market power with a price ceiling, you need to know what demand really should be. If you're going to do antitrust, you got to know, is this a natural monopoly? What are the other problems? Okay. And so this is what takes us into the realm of acquiring information and knowledge about how economies work. And we'll talk about that in the last video of this course, basically.